right, everybody, before I begin, I just want to thank everybody for the well wishes and the prayers. I am feeling much better today, so I decided to make this video. Again, thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. And with that said, the Ahsoka series is less than 2 weeks away. Finally, here it comes. Get ready for it. But it's already begun. And what am I talking about? The backlash. Oh yeah, it's already started. Ahsoka's gonna suck. Ahsoka's gonna be bad. All this stuff. They haven't even seen it yet. They're judging it off a trailer. Oh, man. I guess whatever gets you clicks and money, that's what works for you, then do you, boo. I'm not hating. Just saying, give it a chance. That's what we all should do. Just sit back, relax, and watch it. And enjoy it for what it is. A fantasy story. And with Ahsoka Tano being my favorite light side character in all of Star Wars, yes, even more than Luke Skywalker, even more than Anakin Skywalker or Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, why Obi-Wan Kenobi? Well, because, he might be the embodiment of the light side, but he was also dragged down by the dogma that was the Jedi Order of the Republic. And that's not to say that I don't like Luke Skywalker, I don't like Anakin Skywalker. Please don't put words in my mouth, because that's not what I said. I'm saying Ahsoka Tano, to me, is more of a representation of the light side of the Force. She's the embodiment of it. I mean, come on. With the whole sister of the gods of Mortis thing, come on, it's her. And with the Ahsoka series coming out, not only are there backlash videos made about it and people hating on it just for clicks and views, there's also a lot of speculation. I myself have made several videos speculating or theorizing on what's going to happen in the Ahsoka series. From Grand Admiral Thrawn not being the threat that he's being made to look like in the trailers. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Remember the Obi-Wan Kenobi series trailers? Made it look like Obi-Wan was going to be protecting Luke throughout the movie. Or show. Sorry, it's not a movie. It's a show. How stupid of me. But anyways, it made Obi-Wan Kenobi look like he was going to be looking after Luke Skywalker. Well, it turns out he was looking after Leia. Leia wasn't even in the trailers. So take the trailers with a grain of salt. They're nice visuals, there's neat little things said and everything, but we can't speculate everything that's going to happen in the show based on a trailer. They're misleading. They're meant to be. Star Wars trailers especially are going to be misleading. But with the Ahsoka series, I think it's going to be even more misleading than we've seen in the past. So when we make these speculation videos or Star Wars theory videos and stuff like that, we have to remember, don't get mad if it doesn't happen. I'm not going to get mad if my theories don't work out. It's not the way it should be, Lucasfilm isn't in my head. They're not living out the fantasies that I have going on in my head. They're going to come up with something likely completely different from anything I've said. And a lot of people get upset by that. If their theories don't work out, they start pounding their fists on their desks and peeing in their little 2-liter bottles and screaming, "Oh, Star Wars isn't doing what I want. Disney's ruined Star Wars." Well, sorry, that's not the way it goes. If they did what you want, there'd be other people screaming, "This was too predictable," or "This was too this," or "This was to that." And that's just not a good way to approach a series. Come on. Let's use a little common sense here. But before I go on, here's a quick word from our sponsor, me.
Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give the video a big stupid thumbs up. It really does help get my message across the Star Wars fandom. If you subscribe and like the video, it will give you a sense of happiness and euphoria, unlike anything you've experienced. It'll make your family love you more, and your water will turn to beer. Yeah, beer. And the type of beer you get is up to the will of the Force. If you get O'Doul suddenly shooting out of your shower, not my fault. If you don't subscribe and like, I'm sure your family will still like you just fine, and water will be good enough. But it's better to be safe and subscribe anyway.
All right, there you go. Hope you got a good laugh out of that one. I think the YouTube algorithm requires us to ask for subscribers, at least when you're a small channel. Otherwise, they don't pump your content out to other people. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so when you watch these other YouTube channels and they talk about how bad Ahsoka is going to be or any other Star Wars project in the future, take it with a grain of salt. Sure, you can look for like-minded people and watch their videos and say, yeah, it's going to suck. But at the same time, you haven't seen it yet. You haven't given it a chance. Go into a series with an open mind. Think, okay, I have these ideas of what could happen, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what should happen. I mean, we're not writers. Well, some of us aren't writers. I guess some of you could be writers, and I'm speculating on that, I guess. And I'm not saying you have to love everything Star Wars that comes out. God knows I have my little picks of things that just get under my skin, but I look past it and look for the things I do like. And in the Ahsoka series, I'm sure there's one or two things that are going to stick out to me like, hey, why'd they do that? Didn't make any sense. But I'm not going to let that ruin the overall enjoyment of the Ahsoka series in itself. It just makes no sense to me. I'm a positive Star Wars guy. Star Wars has been there my whole life. Love it. Okay, I want to get on to the next topic, and that is of my last video about Kathleen Kennedy possibly getting fired from Lucasfilm and Disney. Well, a lot of people took that the wrong way. They think I'm being another one of those channels that reports on it weekly, and probably this is the only time I had ever talked about it. And there was good reason for it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There's no sweat off my back about it. And I mean, I hope it, well, for her sake, her livelihood, I hope it doesn't happen. But for the sake of Star Wars, I don't know. Would we get something worse than Kathleen Kennedy to replace her? Probably. I mean, they're not going to put Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, or any of those guys in charge of Disney or, Lucasfilm. They don't have the experience of running an entire corporation. But I do think Kathleen Kennedy should probably step back from the creative role and be the executive producer that she's always been. She's been a really good one. Movies like E.T. and the Raiders of the Lost Ark movies. Now, a lot of people could say Kathleen Kennedy ruined Star Wars, but then again, when something good comes out of Star Wars, she gets no praise. So I don't know how to take it. If she gets fired, she gets fired. If she doesn't, she doesn't. It's whatever. I mean, we've got more Star Wars content in the last 10 years than we had in so many years. Think about it. It was 16 years between episode 6 and episode 1. It's a long time. It's almost a generation. Do we want to wait another generation for other Star Wars stories? Some of us won't be around for that. But my point is that I'm not a smut reporter. I don't talk about those kind of things, the behind-the-scenes stuff, very often. Why? Because it's not in a Star Wars story, and that's what I am. I'm a positive Star Wars channel. I talk about Star Wars and these stories in Star Wars, and I couldn't really care who's leading the projects as long as they're putting out content. There's going to be bad, there's going to be good. That's the way things go. I mean, do you love every season or every episode of the Clone Wars? Probably not, but overall you like it. Yeah, it was good. That's how I am. I don't love every episode of the Clone Wars, and that was headed by George Lucas. So, just take it for what it is. I don't know, it's just my opinion. But that's all I got for today. And before you go, here's another quick word from our sponsor, me.
If you're new here or just haven't committed yet, hit that subscribe button, give the video a big ass thumbs up. Doing so helps my channel more than you know, and it'll give you a sense of calm and happiness unlike anything you've experienced in the Star Wars fandom. Warning, subscribing to this channel will not make your family love you more. Unless you experience that happiness mentioned, then your family will see a change in you and be more willing to let you collect Star Wars stuff. Subscribing will also not turn your water to beer, unless somehow this channel is the key ingredient to making your personal beer in your personal microbrewery. But maybe it will help due to the happiness factor. But just in case, subscribe anyway.
Thank you all for hanging out with me today and watching my video. If you've made it this far, you are one of the greats. That's right, you're great. Leave a comment down below how great you really are, because I appreciate you. This is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic, signing off, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is the way, and positivity in the Star Wars community can be the only way.